Hi guys, Calvin again. I wanted to share something about minimalism today. The art of removing the non-essential things in our life so we can focus on the things that really matter. Let's drop the term minimalism for this discussion and let's just call it simple living. Because I like to keep things simple, you know what I'm saying? So, look, simple living. 5 years ago, I started to declutter my life. Now, first of all, I'm a really neat person. So I didn't realize how much stuff I was actually carrying. As I moved from apartment to apartment, from house to flat, wherever I moved, I was carrying my stuff, and every time I moved, I realized, what the hell do I still have this for? But because I'm neat, it's not so apparent. So I think what happens with neat people like me is we actually fill up our lives with clutter, but it sneaks up on us, even more so than people who are less tidy, people who just have things scattered anywhere. You know, I have a drawer where I put my keys and my wallet, and I have another drawer where I keep my personal effects, and I have a briefcase which I keep my documents in. So I have a system that works for me. What inevitably happened was I ended up with loads of stuff in there that I actually didn't need, was redundant, expired, served me no useful purpose. And let's not get started on the wardrobe, on technology, old cables, old mobile phones, all kinds of things. I mean, I think you get the point here. So how can we simplify our lives so that we can extract the maximum value of every single interaction, every single moment that we have? Now, the maximum value of any given time. So please don't feel pressured to be in every moment going, oh my god, am I maximizing? That's just importing another level of stress. But it's about taking every opportunity we can to simplify. And I think starting with our possessions is really helpful. Really helpful for me, and that's why I'm sharing it with you, because if it's helpful for me, then it might be helpful to someone else. So I started with my clothes, and I looked at how much I had, and I actually followed a simple rule. I said, if I haven't worn this in the last 6 months, I'm getting rid of it. Simple as that. Okay, there's some things that we have to ring fence, like winter jackets, for example. You know, you may not have worn a winter jacket for more than 6 months if it's autumn, let's say. But, you know, let's ring fence those things, and some other really practical things like socks and underwear. But who needs, 15 pairs of shorts? Who needs 15 pairs of jeans? Nobody needs these things, of course. We either want them or don't want them. But the value I got from lightening my load was great. So now I actually have probably the most essential elements that I own are those things that I need for work. And I'll tell you why. There's an old saying, there's a quote actually, and I can't even remember who it's attributed to, so if you remember, please do put it in the comments to remind me. But it's something along the lines of, the only thing that you actually own, the only thing you actually own are your actions. You own nothing else. We don't own people, even though we try to pretend that we do. We don't own clothes because we can't take them with us when we die. There's actually nothing that we cannot lose other than our actions. There's nothing in this life that cannot be lost to us other than our actions. So our actions obviously then really matter. Our loved ones really matter. What we do with our time really matters. How we spend our time really matters. So if I'm spending my time and wasting, in my opinion, deciding what to wear today, I think that's value that is misplaced that could be otherwise used somewhere else in a higher value task or a higher value activity. Or having to think about where I've last put my keys because my house is just cluttered. Well, now I've just lost some decision making power that I could use for a higher value decision. So there is some huge benefit to simplifying our lives by decluttering. Not only decluttering our physical environment, but it also helps us to declutter our own mental state. So as we embed our meditation, so if you haven't watched my meditation video, please do that. And as we simplify our lives, as we bring these attitudinal approaches to our everyday living, we start to simplify our minds. We start to simplify our thinking, and then our outward reality starts to change. And then before you know it, we feel moved or inspired to declutter. We feel moved or inspired to relinquish the baggage. Now, if you remember in letting go is relinquishing not just the mental concepts or ideas, but it also applies to relinquishing of things. And by relinquishing these things, I feel much more liberated. The relationship between inner and outer worlds are cyclical. Of course, everything starts from within. But a meaningful step in your physical environment, by decluttering a few things, removing some of those elements that are otherwise taking up space, that are simplifying the decision-making process, that is creating room for us to divert our energy to higher value tasks, I think that this is where the maximum value can be gained from what some people like to call minimalistic lifestyle. So I encourage you to think about these things. What is most important to you? Write them down. What is most important to you right now in your life? Write that down. Inevitably, we will find out that it's family, relationships, your mental health, your well-being, and then what kind of value you're adding to society as a person. If that is not something you've thought about yet, think about it and see how you feel about it. But for me, that's what really matters. My relationships, my work, my state of mind, mental health, physical health, overall well-being. And I want all of my actions then to be oriented towards those personal priorities. So by decluttering our environment and simplifying our environment, then we can direct our energy to those things. Find out some more tips from me about how we can declutter. I can give you some absolutely totally practical tips. Just leave a message in the comments if you want me to share with you my PDF on that, and I'll be able to let you know how I went through what was my systematic approach to decluttering my life, from what I wore to my documents to what I kept, to my digitizing of records, to relinquishing of all my old technology. Everything that I have now is pretty much essential. Now the thing is to remember that this is all about improving as we go. So don't think that you need to spend a weekend decluttering your life. You can do it bit by bit, because improvement, self-improvement, is a continuous process. Check out my video on meditation if you haven't, and then you can take some meaningful steps to decluttering the mind, and then hopefully that will help with decluttering your whole life. Speak again soon. Hope you found that helpful. Bye for now.